Hello everybody, Glitch Reaper here. I know this is again a bit of a different start, but with the update Aquatic there is certain things that are kind of new to beginning a world. Now, I've already pre-created one mostly, although it will probably still have some rendering issues because it's kind of a bit intense. So yeah, so when you go to more world options now you have some different things having to do with world type. You'll notice we don't have customized temporarily. They do wish to revert that, but they want to rehash how it's done, so that could be a little while as they determine exactly, well, how they want it to operate. But at the same time, you won't get quite as many crazy world designs, but you can still do a lot with it, so at least that's kind of what they're kind of indicating. But we do have a new world type called Buffet. And it's customized in a very different fashion, although it's somewhat similar to super flat in how you do it. You choose a biome, and instead of it being super flat, making everything, you know, flat, you have three different world generators. You have surface, which is kind of like normal. You have caves, which is very heavy on the cavey level and kind of nether-like in that you might be enclosed in gigantic caves. And you have floating islands, which it has so many possibilities because it's kind of like how the end works, and that you have like big sky islands going around here and there, and they may have empty space in between. And in this case, there's a particular combination I'll be showing off a little later. But for now, just look through the biomes. You'll notice that a lot of them have been renamed, although some of them haven't. Some kind of made a little more sense of, some not so much. But Mesa, anything referenced to that is now Badlands. When it comes to roof forests, it's now dark forest, which I actually like, because I always thought of them as kind of a dark forest with all the, the roof on it just makes it a big dark place so that a lot of enemies can show up, so it kind of acts as an arena. So I thought dark forest was a good way to go. You can see kind of the variations of ocean, which I explained before. The end is now properly the end and has its own sub-biomes, although there's not much done with them at this time, as I also explained before. So maybe we'll see more having to do with the end in the future? Hopefully. Now we also have some things that are a little bit different here and there, and you might go through. Another one that does make sense, however, is that Extreme Hills is now, any reference to that is now to mountains, which is very much what everybody pretty much called them before anyhow. It's what they were meant to be in the game. It just was called Extreme Hills for some reason. No, it's not just a hill, it's a mountain, so let's just call it that. And that's pretty much what they decided to go for. Mushroom Fields makes sense to me because if they run into another biome, they could connect with it, becoming like a peninsula if it just connects on one side, or on rare occasion, a mushroom biome will connect all around and not be waterlogged at all. It'll be like landlocked, in which case then it would just be a field of mushrooms. They're occasionally hilly. So that is another thing that makes sense. Nether is now properly the Nether. There's some here and there otherwise, and you can kind of look through on the website as to what all these mean. Although do note that Void is its own special biome only for here, and also possibly for super flat. It's meant to be a mostly pretty much just empty world that's good to use for building. And other things have changed, also include things like the code in terms of doing command codes, but that's also something you could kind of go to the main wiki to see more of, because those two things are a bit technical and things that don't really affect gameplay terribly much. But if you're trying to do like special command codes and stuff, then that would be a big thing to look into. Now, I've already set my things here for this new world, and I'm going to go in here and show some stuff having to do with it. It should load a lot easier since I've kind of preloaded it before, and you can see when it's preloaded, it's a little longer than normal because it's oddly more intense to do this than a random world sometimes, which I find kind of a bit funny. Very ironic. But as you can see, I've made it from deep ocean and sky islands. That's the combination I went with. And here we have an ocean monument in the middle of sky islands. And yeah, because of the way they generate a very particular volumetric chunk of water around them, it makes it particularly impressive to see something like this. So I wanted to open with that. And you'll also see other ocean structures, and you'll see lots of mine shafts around as you go around. So if you look along the bottom, you will be seeing lots of caviness, a lot of overhanging sky islands, empty space in between. You will see plenty of water, because this was originally supposed to be a deep, cold ocean. And so you'll see some salmon around here and there because they're particularly compatible with the colder oceans, as well as some cod on occasion. And you will see them flop right off the edge of the water into the void. So yeah, we do have void exposure. Because these are sky islands, like with the end would generate. We have bats going around because all this darkness from the overhanging islands allows them to show up all over the place. So bats are actually quite frequent. You will see some things that are still basically aquatic, like you'll see how the trenches are supposed to have formed. So you'll see generated magma blocks in their bubbles. You'll also see seagrass here and there. You will see exposed ocean, well, I think it's more underwater. Yeah, you'll see exposed underwater ruins, and you'll see shipwrecks. And that's some things that will show up all over the place around here. And I've looped around to the monument. But as you could, and you will also see on the surface, you do get trees, because even deep oceans can have regular islands. You'll get like flowers and stuff. And in fact, it might be good to F3 just to show that this truly is deep, cold ocean everywhere. Because that is what it is meant to be, because that's what I said along with Sky Islands. And this is a really fun, crazy, but possibly survival-friendly due to trees, type world that you could actually generate, although it is a bit intense. So you might want to throw a bit more RAM at it than usual as it generates, or pre-generate it for a while and then actually do something. I have in fact seen some. Oh wait, I think that's kelp. Do we have kelp? Yes, we have kelp. We have kelp. For a while, I was wondering if I had seen that before or not. We have kelp in this particular area, so that's nice. There's a shipwreck, as I was trying to say before. This one is sideways. A bit different than most other shipwrecks I've seen. I've seen them either right side up or upside down. Sideways is actually kind of a new one for me. And one thing you'll note is when going into a ruin or shipwreck, there will not be any buried treasure maps in this exact setup. So it's about impossible to get a conduit. So you can get, you can actually get an ocean monument and sponge to help you take care of the water, but you can't get a conduit so that you can be in the water permanently. So that's kind of how this sets up, because whenever you choose the biome and world generator, not all structures and other things will be compatible. Like this says empty map. That's not like a map from an explorer type map. So therefore it's not a buried treasure map. All explorer maps are basically generated similarly. Now, on the other hand, that means you won't lag for a moment whenever you open those particular treasure chests, because they'll always have a slight lag spike when they're looking for a nearby treasure to give you the map too. And here is a mine shaft. As I was saying before, they will show up considerably. There will be some things that, if you choose a combination like this, will fundamentally not be possible. Like I chose deep ocean, or specifically deep cold ocean, and sky islands. Well, the thing is, if you do that, you're definitely not going to get, like, jungle or desert temples, because they're biome specific. But you can get plenty of general features. Hi. I see cod. I see salmon. That's nice. Hi there. Whoa. Lag spiked. But this is an ocean monument, which is specific to deep ocean. So if you want a very particular structure, and a lot of it, then the buffet style could definitely be your thing. We have an Elder Guardian right there just waiting to get out. And in additional notes about the ocean monument itself, it looks a bit more lively with the seagrass all over it now. So it just looks more like part of the natural world around it. And over here you can see the kelp growing on one side. So that's also a thing about it, is that, well, the new aquatic plants will grow wherever. They don't necessarily need a particular soil type. Like, this is solid prismarine, basically the same as stone, and they're just growing all over it. They're like, nah, we don't have to worry about loose fill, so we don't have to worry about gravel or sand or dirt. We'll be fine. So they're kind of a bit special. Now, additionally, there's a few things I wanted to show off. Let me see here. Did I skip over it? No, I don't think so. There's certain things that would be nice to experiment with where they're placed. But yeah, you can actually place certain things a lot better than you used to. Like paintings, for example, and item frames and stuff like that, especially things like item frames. You can now see that you can place them on the bottoms and tops of blocks where you couldn't do that before. So it's not just on the side. You can actually place them on top of a block or underneath one if you want to. Signs are still, well, able to be placed only where they were placed before, and so were portraits. But vines are a bit different. In fact, here's like the perfect spot to show it. In addition to being placed all over blocks now, you have the... I need to do the whole time set thing. Thank you. Also, now noon and midnight are options in that part, so yeah. But, so there's an interesting demo. Now, the thing about it is, I was going to say, the vines are not like item frames. Item frames are entities in world. They are not blocks. Well, kind of like how I showed with the turtle eggs being multi-part now, is that's a thing that can happen now. We also have that possible with vines, so they may kind of do kind of like a multi-block thing later. Or not multi-block, what I mean, micro-block, yeah, that's it. That's what I was looking for. But it's kind of like with micro-blocks. You might not be familiar with that mod set, but the thing is, or multi-part is, I think, the more common name for it now. Yeah, that's it, multi-part. But kind of like with the turtle eggs I was showing off before, where you could get multiple eggs in the same area, and also with the sea pickles, well, you can do that with vines now. You can place them multiple times over in the same space, including in the tops and bottoms of blocks. So let's place here first. Although it seems if you aim right at the bottom of a block, okay, it looks like if you aim at the bottom of a block, you always get it on the bottom, but if you aim at the top of a block, it tends to want to place on the sides nearby. Okay, let's just do an experiment here. Okay, it's not doing it right now. It's not placing this way. Okay, but I was able to... Okay, so you can't place it on top of blocks, but you can place it under. And you can also place them multiple times over in the same space. Okay, that's fair enough. I thought it was pretty much anywhere, but no. It's not quite that good. But they're working on it. They're working on it. Like, I can place it multiple times over that way, but I can't actually get it to place on that block. So if I were to seal this over, and I were to take out this tree, classic floaty tree style, I would see that I got the vines all around here, and oops, wrong thing. I meant to do this. Vines being replaceable, that was obviously a problem. Oh well, I destroyed that tree too much. It's not going to do it. I need a new tree. Okay, but basically. Okay, let me go one more down. Okay, so if I were to do this, I can place the vines now all around that area. I can also... This is decaying too much. I need to use a different block. Okay, different block demo. Different block demo. Trees are not working. They decay too fast. Okay, so I can't put it on the top of a block, but I can place it on the bottom and any side. It used to be where you could only have it in one side at a time, or one placement at the top, or well, whenever it overgrew an area, it would visually take more spots than you could actually place it, is another thing. Like, it could actually grow under a block and then go down the side, but you couldn't actually do that. Well, now, if I were to place it on the sides, I can also place it on the bottom, and now it's visually going everywhere. And you can actually see the lines where the block actually is. So you can see this has been kind of multi-parted now, where you have the vines wherever they can be, not just one place and then that's it. So yeah, now I got the vines right. I got it taking up 5 different locations technically within the same block space. That's what I was going for. But you can see how this can make an area look kind of nice that way. But whenever they spread, they can kind of do their own thing. But now you can kind of force that to be the way you want it to look. So it's kind of a different decorating strategy you can do now. That's pretty good. So yeah. Okay, so I'll go back to the monument before I head off. It just seemed like a nice thing to do. Oh, and because this is deep ocean, you may hear the occasional zombie or drowned. Drowned can show up in these types of areas. So if I were to fly around here, there's a decent chance I'd be seeing one that's spawned in the water. Because that is something that can happen. I'm not seeing it right there, but yeah, I'm just saying it can happen. I've seen a few drowned showing up around here while I was testing this out before, so it's totally a thing, trust me. But areas that are specially confined, like ocean monuments, obviously won't apply. So the fact that you only get certain types of things around the ocean monument here means you're not going to see drowned. But they can show up in other watery locations in the darkness because of this biome, because it is applicable. Right, was that one? And of course you might, I think that was a falling drowned. That happened. But yeah, they will show up at ocean ruins initially as well, even if they don't necessarily stay there. So that's also a thing, like that little ruin structure there, they might have been there and then got shoved off. So that could have happened. But it's kind of an interesting setup, because you have the combination of the deep ocean, you have the Sky Island type thing with all the voids, and the ability to actually survive in it by going from one area to another using the water. Like, you could actually kind of swim around that to go from area to area if you have a complete path. And as I was showing the other effects, it's just that they've kind of pretty much completed things now. I thought for a while in the 0.1 version there'd be a bit more content, but it wasn't really anything more than just a quick notation. So nothing really special. This was kind of the last bit, is this new buffet style world type and just a few new placement options you've got. So the placement options are nice to decorate with, but the big feature here is buffet style worlds. Select a biome, select a world generator, and see what happens when you mash them up. So that can be pretty dramatic, and I certainly like where that could lead to. So that can lead to a lot of cool survival scenarios. I can even see some very weird combinations where you're doing this modded. That would be that would be odd. Like, okay, you're going at it with ocean, sky, islands, and what? So, the combos this can lead to is going to be absolutely hilarious. But anyhow, that's pretty much the last bit of things for now, as far as I know. The rest are primarily either the biome changes you can look up, or they're special things that you now have options to do with command codes. Like, those say now you can actually, when you use the locate command, you can direct link the teleport right through the way it shows up, kind of like with suggestions. You can just teleport right there. Like right now, it would be kind of funny if I tried this. Okay. Okay, just one. Okay. See, right now I'm next to a monument. Now, some won't apply because, again, world type is not compatible. But I can say monument. And, well, I didn't do it that way. So, monument. Okay, here's the option here. So you get the option to, say, click to teleport. And now I'm in the monument area. So, yeah, you could just go zip. So that's one way that works. And that's a change with the codes. Really? Right whenever I was about to head off, this happens. Oh well. Oh, also, a time set can be done with noon and midnight, if I hadn't said so before. I think I have. So, now I'm not doing E equals MC squared. Just clearing that off. Okay, I just gotta stand here and then head off, and then things happen. Oh well. But yeah, that's pretty much the last of the update Aquatic, so won't be seeing much more of it. But I think I gave a great tour of this world type, so it's kind of like doing a seed showcase, but not exactly. It's just things like that with kind of like super flat and customization options and stuff, just showing what you can do with a world, is very interesting. But at the same time, it's not necessarily exactly the same. So it was just good to show what this new option was. I think I showed it off decently well, so I hope that counts for something. Anyhow, for now, this has been Glitch Reaper. I'll be logging off. Hope to hear from you all later, and bye for now, everybody.